Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Story Time channel. I'm Pallavi reading interesting stories for you. Today I'm reading The Magic of Lost Temple. In that you know that our fourth chapter is going on. Now let's go to the fourth chapter and let's see what happened with Nooni and its friends. Now the heading is a wedding in the village. Let's go. The next day, Aji woke Nooni up early in the morning. She said, Nooni, we have to go to the Sarsu Aji's house today to help with the wedding preparations. There is a lot of work to be done. Get up and have a bath. Eat your breakfast and then we will leave. You know, when the village did not have electricity, my family worked from sunrise to sunset to work the maximum that we could in the daylight hours. That's how I got into the habit of getting up early and sleeping early too. Nooni yawned and stretched out her arms. What work do you have for the wedding, Aji? She asked sleepily. We are going to help with laddus today and papads tomorrow. After that, we are going to make a lot of pickles for the wedding lunch. And of course, we will make some extra to last us through the year. Why are you making everything, Aji? Aren't there any sweet shops here? What about Haldirams? In Bangalore, we always buy such things from MTRs, Maiyas or Haldirams. Mom doesn't make laddus, pickles or papads at home. My child, your mother works full time and in the big city where the apartments are small, there's really no place to store an entire year's stock. So the best way to get things is by buying small jars from the market. But in the village you don't have any such shop. And the truth is that we have fun making these goodies. Why do you want me to come with you? What am I going to do there? No wonder. Well, the ladies and I will do the main portion of the work. But you and the other children must help us by running few errands, said Aji. When your father was young, he also used to come and help me. Nooni nodded and went to the bathroom to get ready. When they reached Sarsu Aji's house, Nooni saw that the house was being whitewashed. She noticed that there were many children from the village. Everybody seems busy. Some children were bringing ghee from the storeroom. Some were busy washing plantain leaves and dabbas, and others were cleaning the veranda. Suddenly she glanced to the side and saw heaps and heaps of laddus on the veranda. She had never seen so many laddus in her life. She saw Anand standing near the laddus and looking at them hungrily. She went and stood by him. He licked his lips and said dramatically, Noni, do you know how many laddus they make? There are 2 laddus for each adult and 3 for each child. On the top of that, they make extras too. I am so tempted to eat a few, but my mother will get angry if she finds out. Nooni laughed. The wedding was a week away. So Aji and Nooni went to Sarsu Aji's house every single day. There were many people who kept trooping in from different villages and cities, and they all stayed till the wedding was over. Some even stay in the house next to Aja and Aji's home. Though Nooni didn't know Many people, there were many girls of her age. There was a lot of noise and fun throughout the day in Sarsu Ajji's house. Many women volunteers kept coming in to help with some of the work. The back garden was converted into a makeshift kitchen. Breakfast and lunch were served at the house, and there was a constant supply of tea and snacks throughout a day. A shamiana was erected. There were big carpets and mats everywhere. At night, the men slept in the veranda while the women slept inside the house after discussing food, saris, and Sarsu Ajji's lovely gifts. The children had fun sleeping on the terrace under the stars. Nooni felt awkward at the informality of the people there. She recalled Vivek uncle's quiet wedding in Bangalore. It had taken place in the hotel and was very short, just about half a day and without many rituals. She also remembered a wedding that she had attended with her parents at the Bangalore Palace. The palace was completely lit and there were thousands of people walking about everywhere. There was a parking problem and big line for reception. There were plenty of food stalls, including chaat, Thai food, North Indian food, South Indian delicacies. People were more interested in eating the food than the actual ceremony. Unlike the happy wedding at Sarsu Ajji's house, Vivek uncle's and the Bangalore Palace weddings were boring. Finally, the wedding day arrived. Ajji wrapped herself in her best silk sari and Nooni wore a red blouse and yellow silk langa with the red border. Ajji gave her a necklace to wear, but Nooni didn't like it. Still, she wore it to make Ajji happy. From morning till evening, Ajja and Ajji were busy with the wedding activities. Since they were old and respected in the village, everyone who attended the wedding come and touch their feet. Ajji show off Nooni to everyone. This is my granddaughter Anushka, she said to whoever she met. She has come from Bangalore to spend the summer with us. Nooni felt a little shy. The variety of food was definitely not as diverse as in Bangalore, but it was tasty and traditional. Lunch was served on plantain leaves. Sarsu Ajji told all the women, please make sure you pick up a box of mithai from the table on your way out. After lunch, Ajji went and stood at the table near the exit. Nooni became her assistant. Boxes of mithai were piled up on it. Ajji held a silver bowl with kumkum and offered it to all the women while Nooni handed a mithai box to the families as they made their way out. That night, when the trio returned home, nobody wanted to eat because they had had lunch at 4 in the afternoon. All three of them were tired, so they went to bed early. Ajji, tell me a story, Nooni insisted once the lights were off. Nooni, aren't you tired? I will tell you a story tomorrow. No, Ajji, I want to hear a story now. Ever since I have come to the village, you haven't told me even one story, Nooni persisted. Ajji got up and pulled the curtain aside. It was a full moonlight and the moonlight came through the window into the room. It's as if a magic lamp has been switched on, thought Nooni. I don't see such bright moonlight in the city or in our house, Ajji. How has the moon lit the entire bedroom? You live in an apartment. Your bedroom faces another apartment complex and all the street lights are on in the night. Then how will you see the effect of natural light in the city? Here we have very few street lights and there aren't any high-rise buildings. My room faces the garden where there's open space and windows for the light to come in easily. Oh, now I understand, Aji. Tell me a nice story about the moonlight then. I know you have a story for every occasion. Green Nooni. Aji smiled and said, of course, what I am about to tell you happened 1,000 years ago in this very village. Long, long ago, there lived a handsome king named Soman Yakka. He was brave, kind, courageous, and very generous. His kingdom lay in the delta between the rivers Varda and Tungabhadra. There was a thick forest around the area and many wild animals lived there. Sometimes they would enter the village and scare the people, destroy the crops, and eat the cattle. After a number of such complaints and no improvement in the situation, the king decided to hunt these wild beasts himself. 2 days later, he went hunting on his horse with his soldiers by his side. Soon he had left his soldiers far behind and lost his way. The day passed and turned into late evening. The king's horse became tired and Somanayaka tied him to a tree and went in search of food. He collected some fruits and ate them and bought some grass back for his horse. Suddenly he felt very sleepy. It was a full moon night and the breeze was cool and pleasant. Somayakka noticed a flat rock behind some bushes and decided to rest. Within a minute he was asleep. Suddenly he was awakened by the sound of girls chatting. He opened his eyes and glanced at the sky. To his surprise, there was a ladder coming down from the moon which joined some stairs that went all the way from the moon to the earth. A group of beautiful women were coming down the steps. They all wore white saris and pearl ornaments and carried golden pots at their waist. He squatted near the bushes and counted them. They were 7 in all. He wondered what they would do next. As soon as they reached the earth, the oldest woman touched the ground with a stick and he saw the ground give way and open up. All of them slowly disappeared inside the ground. Somanayaka was not scared, but he was desperate to know where they had gone. Carefully he came out of the bushes and peeped. Then he felt a little bolder and walked towards the big hole in the ground. He was surprised to find himself looking into an enchanting stepwell. Haji, what is stepwell? Nooni asked. It is a well that has steps inside so that it is easy to get to the bottom. There are many stepwells in our country. In fact, some of them are very famous. Remember that picture of the well you sent me from your trip last year to Abhaneri near Jaipur? Oh, that's true. There was a huge well there with almost 3,000 steps. Are you talking about something similar? Yes, I haven't seen Abhaneri myself. And the one that Somanyaka saw was a small step well. It had only 21 steps. But there were 7 small, exquisitely carved Shiva temples inside the well. Somanyaka looked down and observed the stunning carving and pillars and the beautiful angelic woman. He enjoyed seeing them play hide and seek for some time. Then they filled their pots with water, pour it on an idol of Lord Shiva, and perform a puja. The whole process took several hours. By then, the sky started getting lighter, and it was daybreak, and the moon started fading. Somalyaka hid behind the bushes again. Soon the woman climbed the steps and went back to the moon. The steps disappeared and the ground closed up. Somnayaka sat in the bushes for a long time. Suddenly he felt confused. Had it been real or had it all been a figment of his imagination? Did he really see the ground open up and a well underneath? He stood up and came out of the bushes. He searched everywhere for a sign of the well, but with no luck. There was not a single remnant of the incident he thought he saw. I must have been so tired that I slept off and had such an elaborate dream that I thought that it was real, he said to himself. He turned and started walking back to his horse. Suddenly he saw something sparkling on the ground. It was a broken pearl necklace. Somnayaka collected all the pearls and realized that it hadn't been a dream after all. He tried to recall if he had ever heard about a step well in his kingdom, but nothing came to mind. By then, one of his followers had traced him and come to his rescue. But Somnayaka told him, "Go back and inform everybody that I am safe. I will stay here for a few days. Give me your food ration before you leave. I know the route and I will come back on my own." The next day he waited near the bushes again, but nothing happened. He waited for one more day and still the woman did not appear. After another uneventful day, he thought of other possibilities. Maybe these beautiful maidens come only on full moon days. Keeping that in mind, he got on his horse and went back to the capital. He made the royal astrologer and found out the date of the next full moon night. When the night came, he waited behind the bushes, and this time he was not surprised when the ladder came down from the moon. He knew the whole process by now and looked forward to the puja of Lord Shiva. Somnayaka was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. After the puja, he decided to take a chance and meet the maidens. Boldly he came forward and stood near the stepwell. "Beautiful maidens, please don't be alarmed. Here's my pranam to all of you." He folded his hands together and continued, "You have chosen our land for your worship of Lord Shiva, and I am really grateful to you. I have noticed that when you go back, the ground closes on its own. May I earnestly request you not to make the well disappear. Please keep it open so that everyone can worship Lord Shiva in this beautiful ambience." The woman looked up at him in fright. It was a rude shock for them to see Somnayaka there, and they gathered closely together. Then the eldest maiden took the lead and said, "Who are you? Why have you been observing us without our knowledge? This stepwell was built by a great architect of the celestial heavens. It can't be used by the selfish people of earth." Somnayaka bowed his head and said, "My sisters, I am Somnayaka, the ruler of this land. I know that this holy stepwell couldn't have been made by human beings. But Lord Shiva is fond of all his devotees, isn't he? Please grant me my wish. If you have any conditions, please tell me, and I will fulfill them." The maidens spoke to each other in hushed whispers. Then the eldest one said, "We are impressed by your humility and your prayer. The water here tastes like nectar. That is Earth's speciality. Even though we live in the celestial world, the water there isn't as tasty as what we get here. So we come every full moon night, not to take a bath or spoil the well, but to just drink and enjoy ourselves. As long as you promise me that you will not dirty the premises and this water will be used only for drinking, we will leave it as it is. People of your land can come and worship and take the water, but before entering the step well, they must take bath and wash their feet. If your people do not follow the rules, the well will disappear along with your kingdom. Think about it. It is a big price to pay. Are you ready to take the risk of losing your kingdom? Somnayaka thought for a minute and said confidently, "A source of water is source of life. I will ensure that all your conditions are taken care of." The maiden continued, "We have one more condition. On full moon nights, the temple must remain closed so that we can continue our visits here. Nobody must be allowed inside to observe us or talk to us. We want our privacy to be protected." Somnayaka agreed. He stepped forward and gave back the necklace to the maiden. He said gently, "I think this belongs to one of you." The women were very happy with his honesty. They drank the water, climbed the steps, and vanished. The step well remained where it was. Somnayaka went to the nearest water body to have a bath, and then he entered the step well for the first time. It was much more beautiful from up close. When he reached the bottom, he cupped his hands and drank a sip of water. It was very tasty. He felt that it was better than nectar, which he had never drunk before anyway. The next day he came back to the kingdom and proclaimed, "There exists a beautiful step well of Lord Shiva in our kingdom. People who would like to go there and perform puja can do so, but one condition: they have to bath and cleanse themselves before entering the step well. The water there will be used for no other purpose except for drinking. Everyone can carry away one pot of water and no more. These rules are to be strictly followed, and there will be no exceptions. The temple will remain closed on full moon nights, and nobody will be allowed inside." Somnayaka wanted to make his people comfortable, so he ensured that there was another water body for them near the step well. There people could bath, change their clothes, and then enter the step well. The news spread like wildfire. People came from all over the kingdom to see the architectural masterpiece and pay their respects to Lord Shiva. The well remained open all days except full moon nights. Days passed and word spread. People started coming from far and wide and from different lands. A small tourist spot was set up near the step well and named Somanhalli. Despite the increasing number of visitors, the well was kept clean and guards monitored the premises around the clock. After some years, Somnayaka married a lovely lady, Queen Ratnavati. She was beautiful and courageous but headstrong. Somnayaka told her about the way the well had been discovered and how the celestial maidens had agreed to his request. Ratnavati wanted to know whether the maidens were more beautiful than her or not, but she knew that she would never get a chance to meet them because they came only on full moon nights when no one was allowed inside the temple. One day the king had to go to an important event in the neighboring kingdom. Ratnavati told her husband, "I am not feeling very well. I think that I will stay back in the palace." The knave king believed her and departed for the event. As soon as he left, Ratnavati called for chariot and headed towards the step well. She thought to herself, "I am the queen of this land. Every inch of it belongs to me. So what if the well is a gift of maidens? The well exists on my land and I am the legal owner. My husband doesn't want to take a risk and obeys those maidens' word without question. I want to show him that nothing will happen if we break their rules." When the charioteers reached Somanhalli, the officer stopped her and requested, "Oh Queen, please don't visit the temple today. It's full moon night, and as per the government rules, no one is allowed to go inside. Why don't you stay in the guest house tonight? You can visit the well tomorrow. Ratnavati did not listen to them. How dare you stop me? I am the queen. Everything is under my control. Without another word, she barged into the stepwell. Since it was a full moon night, the entire complex was shining like a silver. The water was simmering and looked irresistible. She went into the water to bath. Suddenly she heard a noise. When she turned, she saw 7 women standing on the steps. Though her heart told her that they were more beautiful than her ego did not allow her to accept the truth. When the maidens saw Queen Ratnavati in the water, they became upset. Who are you? How dare you come here today? Has King Somnayaka forgotten our conditions? Arrogantly, Ratnavati replied, I am his queen. This land belongs to us and I make the rules. You can come the day I want you to visit. You can't tell me when I can and can't come here. The water here is the way it is because of the earth and not because of anything you did. Who are you to talk to us like this? You have not only disobeyed our rules, but you have also dirtied the water. Once someone has bathed in this water, no one can drink it again. The woman turned to leave. While going up the step back to the moon, the eldest maiden said, Rani Ratnavati, you are going to regret this. They climbed the ladder and vanished. Queen Ratnavati tried to get out of the water to go behind them and talk to them, but all her efforts were in vain. Suddenly there was a thunder and lightning, followed by a huge gust of wind and rain. Ratnavati quickly climbed up the steps of the well. The earthquake, and within a few seconds the well closed. The queen was scared. She had been warned of the consequences. She was going to lose her kingdom. She cried to herself and said, I should not have done this. I have polluted the water and disobeyed my husband. I have destroyed my kingdom because of my arrogance. Somnayaka never came back from his travel, and Ratnavati went mad crying in the streets. After a few days, nobody heard from her again. The kingdom was eventually abandoned. It was sad that the queen, who should have been the protector of her kingdom, had destroyed a precious water source, disobeyed royal orders, broke a promise, and caused such a catastrophe. People say that our village Somanhalli is near the location of the step well. This story has been passed down from generation to generation, but no one has actually seen the well. Aji finished the story. Nooni looked at the moon with sleepy eyes, waiting for the maidens to appear. Now, this is the fourth chapter. Do you like the story of Somnayaka? Then tell me in the comment box and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.